behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got a great interview coming up in just a moment. But if you like this show, just go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell, and you're always going to be notified of any new episodes coming your way. Leave a comment on the comment section if you like. We'd love to hear from you there. And also check the description part because we'll have contact info there. And the contact info will also be at the closing credits at the end of the show, so hope you'll stay tuned for that. From Orlando, Florida today, we have Luanne Hunt. She's a very awesome artist, and I think you're going to agree. And we're going to get to that in a second, but first there's a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show and TLC Travel Agency. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
The Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Ever thought about owning your own business? Tanya Lapsley-Cockett did. She decided a little over 5 years ago that she was going to be an entrepreneur, so she started her travel business. Tanya is married and works a full-time job. Her business has given her amazing opportunities. Not only does she get to help people create memories by booking their vacations, sporting and entertainment tickets, rental cars, etc., but it has also allowed her to help other families create legacy income. The travel industry is extremely lucrative and is an $8 trillion industry. The travel industry is projected to earn in excess of $15 trillion over the next 10 years. The travel industry pays its professionals up to 70 to 80% commission on the travel that they book for themselves and their clients. As a travel business owner, Tanya books travel and teaches others how to own and operate their own travel business. She is a director in training on the marketing side of her business, where she has helped over 90 families start their own businesses. If you're interested in owning your own travel business, please contact Tanya at 917-743-1199 or at ladytlc3555@me.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us from more outside of Orlando, Florida, we have Luanne Hunt with us today. Thanks for joining us, Luanne.
You're welcome. It's great to be here, Paul.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Everybody has their own story, so I ask this question a lot, but tell us a little bit about how you decided you wanted to be an artist.
I always wanted to be an artist from the time I was a kid, as far back as I could remember, actually. But I was discouraged by my family. They told me I didn't have any singing talent. So, luckily that didn't stop me. I mean, I really had that in my head that was my path. So once I got married and got out of that environment, I was able to start pursuing singing, and I took classes in singing and started singing at like local churches and county fairs and you name it, just to get going. So that was sort of my humble beginnings.
Well, that's quite a story there, and I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. I just hope you have many years ahead of you. So
thank you.
Well, what were some of the artists you listened to when you were growing up that really helped influence you as well? Because a lot of people love a lot of different music. Sometimes they only like certain artists, so forth. We want to hear what you liked when you were growing up, though.
Well, I was really obsessed with John Denver when I became like in early teens, I guess. And I also loved all the folk groups of the day, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and Simon and Garfunkel. Listened to a lot of James Taylor, the Eagles, that kind of stuff. And we didn't really listen to country music in Pennsylvania where I grew up. So I didn't get introduced to that till later in life. But yeah, it was all what would now be considered classic rock or classic folk, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, those are great bands. You know, you mentioned Simon and Garfunkel, Peter, Paul and Mary, and a couple of others that were really good. Um, yeah, I really like those bands too. John Denver was another one. Yeah, and well, tell everybody how we can find your music because we're going to watch this video in a couple minutes, and we want to know how to find more of your music. Are you on all streaming platforms? Do you have an official site? Are you on social media? I mean, tell us all that.
Well, my website is my name, Luanne, Luanne, hunt.com.
Mm-hmm.
But if you type my name in Google or any of the search engines, you'll come up with many, many links to hear my music on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, you name it. So I'm pretty easy to find.
Okay, and you're on social media as well. So if you're on all of them, you know, go ahead and let us know.
Yes, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, same thing.
Okay, well, she told you how to find her, so just go look for her, and especially on streaming sites and download her music. I know she would love you for that. And we're getting ready to watch this video. Let me see. Tell us the title of it and if there's a story behind it, because we love to hear the story behind that.
Is this the Vice?
Mm-hmm.
So my late husband wrote the song 30 years ago, and I recorded it for a demo album that I did. And I always thought it was a gorgeous song. It was called initially He's in Paradise with a Paradise. So I think a lot of people thought it was just, you know, some corny little novelty song, but it's actually an amazing, amazing song. So for my 30th anniversary this year and my 24th studio album, I wanted to resurrect something from that demo album. And it was easy to pick that song because I always thought it was something special. So I reworked the lyrics a little bit and gave it a whole different musical treatment. And I'm just over the moon. I think my late husband would love the way it turned out too. It's really emotional now, which I think, and I changed the title. I mean, I kept the hook, but I changed the title. So
Yeah, and it is great. Matter of fact, just before we started this conversation where you came in the room and everything, I watched, and I think I watched at least 2 or 3 times. I can't get enough of it. So
thank you.
and I know you all out there will like the Vice as well, and we're going to get to that in a moment. But before we begin with that, I think that's all the time we need right now, Luanne. And well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Anytime you want to come back and plug something new, you know, let us know. We'll have you back on again.
I appreciate it, Paul. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. And now let's go to The Vice by Luanne Hunt, and it begins right now.
He makes his living by playing with chance. It's what he'll do till he dies. Sometimes he loses and sometimes he wins. Says there is no better high. He's in paradise with a pair of dice. The craps table calls him by name. When he's rolling the bones, he feels right at home. Few others can make such a claim. He's the king of clubs, or so he's been dubbed, in Vegas and Reno and Jean. Travels alone, but is very well known, and typically orders Jim Beam. He plays the percentages day after day. He's good and he likes to boast, but out in the desert, alone on the road, he usually feels like a ghost. He's in paradise with a pair of dice. The craps table calls him by name. When he's rolling the bone,
He feels right at home. Few others can make such a claim. He's the king of clubs, or so he's been dubbed, in Vegas and Reno and Jean. Travels alone, but is very well known, and typically orders Jim Beam. Gambling's his life, so of course there's no wife, but there have been plenty of flings. They can't compete with a flush. Man, it gives him a rush, like he could do anything. Table calls him by name. When he's rolling the bones, he feels right at home. Few others can make such a claim. He's the king of clubs, or so he's been dubbed,